Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I realized I did not record an intro or an outro for this video. So this is future Rebecca editing. I just wanted to hop on here and say that today's video we are building a new chicken tractor chicken coop. I'm super excited. This is the perfect backyard chicken coop. I'm super excited to have this one. I've worked with Avituvin for some years now. I have sheds all in our backyard. We have one of their previous chicken coops. If I have some footage, I'll insert it here. I am so excited. There are some updates in this model. I love the fact that it's a tractor. I can move it around the yard. You'll see me build it here on the turf, but that's not where we plan to have the chickens. It's gorgeous. It's functional. It's all in one. And I'll leave everything in the description box. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave it in the comments. I have a ton of content. If you're interested, don't forget to subscribe. But today's going to be a really, really fun video. If you're new to chickens, give me any of your advice. I am so new to this. And if you are following along, don't forget to subscribe. I would love it if you stick around and hang out. We have gardening, cleaning, homeschool, you name it. You're gonna find it all here. I am still in the stage of convincing my husband that we need chickens in the backyard. I'm getting everything ready, so now all we need to do is go pick out the chickens. If you guys want to help me out, definitely give this video a thumbs up, like it, share it, so that I can show him that chickens are going to be so beneficial to our backyard and our garden and our orchard. I would love it if you would help me out and give it a thumbs up, or just let me know down in the comments below how you adore having chickens on your property, in your home, caring for them. If you grew up around them, I would definitely love your advice, any of your suggestions. Here is the chicken coop. I wanted to just lay everything out on the grass and show you how few pieces there are. It was so simple to put together. You're going to see me doing this over a few days just because mom life, and also we had a snowstorm in the middle of me putting this together, so it was just kind of like when we had time, we would run outside before it started raining or before it started snowing. It comes with the instruction manual. As I've mentioned before, I've worked with Avituvin for quite a long time, and their products always exceed my expectations. Their customer service is amazing. Their parts are super simple, very user friendly. It's literally, you just open the box, you're ready to go. Most of the time you just need a screwdriver, and they do recommend that you do build a lot of the systems. You'll see I have a shed back there in the garden, and then I have one on the other side of the yard. We have another coop, and they do recommend that you build this with 2 people, but honestly I've always built the items just by myself. Sometimes my husband will help me, but most of the building I do by myself, and I have no issues. So I think if you have another person, obviously it will go faster, but it was literally just a few pieces for the frame, and then we were attaching the nesting perches, and then we were doing the actual boxes, and I was making sure that this would slide in. I didn't want to break it, but it fit like a glove, and it's actually really sturdy. I love the fact that they do have a little bit of a run underneath these nesting boxes, and I'm going to go over all of the details, but I was super excited to get to this point because this is a chicken tractor and the chicken coop all in one. So if you are a beginner chicken owner, or just as somebody who's getting into it, I feel like this is the perfect one-stop shop. So here I wanted to show the difference. I went ahead and put on the solar door. We'll get into that. I'm so excited for this upgrade. The door that the coop comes with originally is perfect, and you can see, I'll show you here at the end a little bit of a close-up. It doesn't slide off the track, which is amazing. This is one thing I love about all of their products, is that there is a weather stripping, so you may have to do a little bit more predator proofing depending on what type of predators you have in your area, but they do offer that weather stripping piece. Again, I'll show more detail at the end after we get the assembly done, but they make sure that they provide all of these small details. Like this hatch is a upgrade on the older model that we have. It's just a piece of wood that will prop open the nesting boxes, which I don't mind, but this makes it so much easier. It's going to lock into place. Here's that weather stripping portion. Again, this is going to come in so handy to make sure all of that rain or moisture, snow in our case, on some days in the winter, will slide all the way down the roof and not be in the nesting boxes or messing with any of the chickens. So small details like that, which is why I love this company. Here's the roof. Again, it's all labeled. It's really simple to follow the instructions. It's not anything. I know sometimes when you open a product it can be a little jumbled and kind of like a guessing game, but honestly this was probably one of the easiest things I've put together thus far. Chicken Coop chicken tractor is actually made for 6 to 10 chickens, so you have plenty of space in here, especially if you are going to let them free range or if you plan on doing a larger run. But I love the fact that this actually connects to the actual coop itself. Is super simple. You watched me literally just unfold it. That's how it comes in the box, literally already put together. And I'm a person that I always look for, honestly, sometimes the easiest option and something that is just ready to go. And when you have toddlers and you're homeschooling and you're adding, you know, family members to the household, sometimes you need something that is ready to go, or even if you're a beginner. So I love that there is a spacious metal run, and it does actually come with a tarp, so it is sort of providing shade and some sort of shelter from harsh weather like the sun and crazy snow. I'll show you in a second. It held up really well. There is a metal pull-out tray, so if you are cleaning any sort of bedding that you're putting in there, it's going to be super simple to pull that out and slide it back in. Here it is. I was so excited. I like that it's aesthetically pleasing. This is a really nice chicken coop, but it's also super functional. There are doors and access points literally anywhere, so if you're tasting a little stinker around that just doesn't want to get out, or you need to move things around, you have a ton of entry points and you have access from both sides, which is super nice. There is really good ventilation. You'll see the windows here. I'm sliding both of them back and forth, and they do have either that wire mesh or a metal behind them, so it is a little bit predator proof. So I like that there is that cross breeze and ventilation. As we all know, that's super important to let light in and to let the smell out. So here is the tarp that goes over the actual tractor portion itself. It does velcro on, which I love, because if you have harsh weather, then you know this will be something super easy to replace in a few years if that's something that I need to do. How simple it will be, one, to take this down when we don't need it and store it, or two, replace the velcro if I need to as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get that attached, and then now we're going to get into the solar powered door. I am so excited for this. There's a timer on here. It will tell you the degree. It's just, this is something that is just a need, and I feel like this is an amazing add-on. So you can actually attach the door 4 different ways, and the instructions are, again, super simple. You can use bolts, screws, you name it, you get to pick. And guess what? If you decide you change your mind, then you have multiple options. It is very sturdy. I wish you could feel how heavy this is. I feel like it's going to hold up to the weather quite well, and I like the fact that they actually hide the hardware. So in the middle of putting this together, you can see we literally had a random snowstorm, and I will say that the coop held up amazingly, as well as the tractor. The only thing I will say is that the snow load was quite a bit much for the actual tarp itself, so I did have to come out and I would shake the snow off just to kind of watch and make sure it didn't collapse, and it did surprisingly well. I decided to attach this with the screws. So I'm going to go ahead and get this installed, and then I'll walk you through some of the features of the door. I couldn't figure out if I had this upside down or not. So while I figure that out, we'll get this attached, and then we will screw in the actual solar plate to the roof and the control panel itself. Is really nice. It fits the coop perfectly, and this is interchangeable with a lot of different options. They have so many options on their website, so I like the fact that you can buy this and it can be retrofitted to other coops that they do actually sell. There's quite a bit of tether on this cord, so I was trying to play around with the best option to install this. Obviously I can change my mind if this doesn't work, but I figured it would be the best option to install this under where the tractor portion actually attaches to the coop, so that it's just extra coverage from the weather. So here is the solar panel, and you just screw in a nail or two on the roof and you're good to go. I will probably put some caulking or silicone, some sort of weatherproofing, anything underneath the roof inside, just to make sure that nothing leaks in there if we ever do get a ton of rain or whatnot. The control panel was so easy to install. I had the door on within like 20 minutes, and I love the fact that there's this slide up portion. My sons were enamored with the idea of an automatic door, so they loved opening and closing. It was the smoothest door. It's very quick. It tells you that it's charging automatically. We had a very sunny day, They do recommend that you charge this completely before plugging it in, obviously for optimal use, but we had no issues right out of the box. My sons thought it was amazing. It's a very soft as close, and you can set an open time and close time, and I love watching this open and close on the times that I set. I will say the first time lifting up the Coop, I was a little nervous because I was like, I'm gonna drop this, and I didn't want to break the ramp that goes up into the door. So that is my only hang up. I will say that I wish there was a way with the actual door itself and the ramp to fold it up, because I would hate to break it. Obviously it would be pretty inexpensive to replace the ramp, but once I got the hang of moving the actual Coop around with the wheels, it is a super easy glide, and I honestly dragged this all the way to the back of the yard to its final spot, and I had no issues with the wheels, didn't get stuck in mud or rocks, and we have extremely rocky soil, so it moves like a dream. It glides really well, and here are the access points. We're just gonna kind of go around, and I'm going to show you. This is quite a bit of space. Obviously we're not going to use just this as their space, but I feel like if you are starting out, again, I feel like this is probably the best chicken coop you can buy. It's got everything you need. It's already together. It's very simple to put together, and it offers quite a bit. I like that there are 3 nesting boxes. In the previous model that we had, there is only 2, so I like that there is another option, even though we all know they'll probably end up in the same one. But again, there is that cross breeze, so there is a ventilation window on one side and the other, one to let in light and air, the weatherproofing strip again, and then there's that hatch to open the nesting boxes, which locks in place so you're not holding it up while you're trying to fetch eggs out of there as well. I have had no issues with the sheds, and they have the same asphalt roof. I've had, I think the first shed I've had, I probably want to say 2.5 years, and never had an issue with water or moisture. These locks, I love these locks, because one, they're a little tricky and sometimes I forget how to open them, but I think that's amazing. If you've ever had issues with raccoons, they're pretty crafty, so I feel like that's kind of a necessity, but it was very easy to put together. I love the look of it, and I think it's gonna hold up really well. Mention with the solar powered door, you can open it manually. You don't have to have it on a timer, but why wouldn't you, just to make it easier? And there is several different power options, so you don't have to use the solar panel if you don't have an area that gets enough sun to power it. There is an option to plug this in, and all of that comes with it. We're probably not going to use that. Here is a better look at the extended run area. It's put together again super simply, and when it comes out of the box, I would say probably about 85% of this is already put together for you. I like that these locks have that little curve at the end, so they're not super simple to slide open. There is a bar across the bottom that does act as a support between both sides of this extended run area, and there is a door in the front, and then there are doors on both sides. But with this area and then the actual area underneath the coop, I feel like it's plenty of space. If you do ever want to expand, there is the option. It's an expandable design, so there's 2 sets that can be combined to create a larger chicken coop, and it can accommodate, obviously, a growing flock. Chicken math is a real thing, so if you add to your flock, then you can expand and it would be a lot easier for you. So there's so many different features on here. There's even a nesting perch inside. So here is, you'll see me point out in just a minute, you'll see where everything would be attached, the run to the actual coop. We weren't going to do that until we had it in its final spot, so I love this design. I'm super excited with all of the upgrades and the things that they have changed on here. I'm excited that it's all in one spot and it's going to be really easy and manageable for us. I think this is going to be the perfect start for our new backyard vlog. If you guys are interested or you have any questions, don't forget to leave them down in the comments. I'll leave everything linked in the description box. Thank you again so much to Avituvin for sponsoring today's video. I hope that you guys give yourself grace today. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.